Hello everybody, I'm Krasi. I will be talking about this very important conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune, which aspect is not happening just every day. Jupiter and Neptune meet one time in every 12-13 years, but this time there is difference in this conjunction. They meet in Aquarius, around in the vicinity of the 29th degrees of sidereal Aquarius, and this is repeating only the situation which happened in March, 18th of March of 1856. Before looking into that, historically, what will this conjunction bring to the world? Let's see what this means for us. This is benevolent, good conjunction, very sweet, very good energy will this conjunction bring to us. But first of all, what is the conjunction? This is when the two planets meet. In the ancient astrology, conjunction is not only when the two planets share the same degree, but it is also when they share the same sign. So basically, we already feel the energy of this, but it will be very significant and very powerful once this conjunction becomes exact, which is on the 10th of April. Now, conjunction, like I told you, is when these two planets meet and exchange their energies. Now, in some astrological traditions would say that this is planetary war. Yes, you have planetary war indeed when two planets join exactly the same degree, but we're talking about two very benevolent planets, very good planets. Jupiter is very benevolent. In the ancient Babylonian mythology, this is Lord Marduk, who had to do with the, he saved the humanity according to the Babylonian stories. Yes, he has there are many controversial opinions about this divinity, but in general, he made his he had his positive and has his positive role for the humans, for us. So this is the god Marduk of the ancient Babylonians, who is ruling Jupiter, who is benevolent for us. Jupiter is a planet which is the main significator of children, planet of abundance, joy, everything which is large, which comes positively with big quantities to us. Also, Jupiter is about because Marduk is the king in the Babylonians, so he's about royal power, reaching powers, but in very benevolent ways. Also, Neptune has benevolent nature too, and Neptune is associated with illusion. But illusion, when you say illusion, I really repeat this maybe too often. When you say illusion is when you allow the illusion to take you over. Illusion is lie, illusion, deception. This is only if we allow this to happen to us. Otherwise, it is just not happening. It's not illusion. Neptune is the Akashis, memories, dreams, also very large, very benevolent, very big. Jupiter, Marduk is the son of Enki, and I'll explain about this in a moment. And he's magician. He has magical powers because his father Enki, who rules Aquarius, also is magician. His primal divinity with a very high hierarchy, also friend of the people. By all means, this cannot be a planetary war, and by all means, this is very benevolent for us and will bring very good events. Jupiter is also associated with justice. When Neptune is around, indeed, you may have these illusionary aspects and influences of Neptune, but once again, this is when we allow. Otherwise, this can be even conjunction of exposure, showing the truth and bringing justice. Now, very important thing, we look at this conjunction, yes, and it is lovely, and I can't wait this really to take place in the exact degrees, the 29 degrees of Aquarius. I will explain you about this also in a moment. But one second. Yes, we should not forget this conjunction is part of many, many celestial events. And before this conjunction, in the winter 2020, we had another one, which plays out now already and will be influencing us for minimum 33 years ahead. And this was the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. And this was and is challenging conjunction. When Saturn and Pluto meet, this already looks like a planetary war, as it is described, planetary war. And it is conjunction which brought challenges to us on Earth. This conjunction typically also, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which is still influencing us very much, is conjunction, which is described by some authors, well, not very ancient, because Pluto, as you know, was discovered not in very, very ancient times. It was known. The ancients knew. We should know this. The ancients knew about Neptune, Uran, and Pluto, but there were specific reasons why they did not apply these three planets to their astrological reasonings, but they knew about them. Now, Pluto-Saturn conjunction described by some traditional, still ancient, but not that ancient authors, is that this conjunction typically means something very important and not benevolent, which is bringing demonic powers to rule, rulership. The rulership powers of every country would be not benevolent, would have demonic manifestations. So this is what this conjunction means, and it's not over for us yet. I will bring you a little bit further. After that, on the 21st of December 2020, we had the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. This one is also interesting, has benevolent implication, but also not that benevolent. It has to do with the Great Awakening that we go through. And I don't want this to sound as cliche, Great Awakening, but it is a Great Awakening because our purpose maybe is to find who we really are. And maybe this conjunction exactly is helping us to find who we really are, Jupiter-Saturn. But this is after the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So you see, we kind of, the sky, the creator, allowed on Earth dark powers to rule. We do have this ongoing happening now, but then you can see that immediately we're given in this very same, during this very same environment and situation, we were given the great opportunity to awaken, to have this amazing experience of attempting to find who we really are. And then if you look a bit further in December 2021, Mars appeared for the first time, and I told you that when Mars appears in December, this will be end of the pandemic, and then we will start, there will be another agenda of hostilities. It's exactly what happens. And Mars now has to complete this mission for the next 15 months. So for the next 15 months, we'll be expecting hostilities. And in between, Jupiter-Neptune conjunction of great importance, which we will be experiencing for the next many years, minimum 12. And the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction is what? I will tell you, and after that I will be explaining you which were the main historical events, very significant, which happened when these two met in the vicinity of the same degree in the 1856. You can research yourself. Historical, it's very easy to see historical events of 1856, and you see even Wikipedia has a lot very interesting facts to show us. But just to tell you, so what are they bringing? When we see they're both benevolent, both very spiritual, both very lofty. Jupiter is about justice, but very lofty ideals. Heroic ideas, heroism, being a hero. This perception, it was very valid until early 90s in many countries, between many cultural groups in the world, and it is disappearing. You may see this appearing again: heroism, utopia, a bit because of Neptune and Jupiter, because of the a bit of illusionary nature of Neptune. But once again, utopic is something that is not really happening. So once again, either we fall into this trap or not. So the Neptune can be very realistic or not. It's a matter of choice. So this conjunction may bring to the world new philosophy, or revisiting forgotten philosophies, very heroic, very ideal, very lofty. So this will be beautiful. This can give us certain such drive, especially people who have sidereal ascendant Aquarius, or who are ruled by Jupiter very much, or who have Pisces ascendant. So this is another thing. Then this is very much about faith, enhancing faith, connection with the Creator, searching to work on our intuition, consciousness, because both of them are this: intuition. And like I told you, Marduk, who is son of Enki, is magician. Diving into magical practices, spiritual experiences, going on pilgrimages to visit and stay in visit temples. A new religious movement may also come in to be born to the world. This is possible, and this is not something which is happening overnight. So, but it is also about giving more positive wind to us, because for the last 2 years we've been under the influence of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which I remind you, it is still valid. We cannot just get rid of this simply because we have Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. They all come and make perfect puzzle picture, you know. They all come into place in a very perfect mathematical way, because, you know, God is mathematician, the Creator is mathematician. So it is in favor of us, the people. It is in favor for sure. But like I'm telling you, this challenging rulership all over the world, in almost every country that you have in mind, is valid. So this is something that we have to deal with. Be very intuitive, and Neptune and Jupiter both work on our intuition to help us exactly to find our own powers, who we really are. Oh, this is very important. So this is happening on the 10th of April through to the end of April. This will be very powerfully felt even in May. Like I'm telling you, this is not something that happens now and finish. We experience it during the 2-3 days. No, Neptune is trans-Saturn planet, very, very slow, stays in one sign 14 years. So this is an energy which will stay the same way as the Saturn-Pluto energy still stays, Jupiter-Saturn conjunction energy still stays. So it is like that. Now they are both friendly, and they both are in this very interesting degree in Aquarius. This is happening in the 29 degrees of Aquarius, where you have degrees which are about power. Because look, we have another 2 planets. We have Mars, Venus, Neptune, Jupiter in Aquarius now. And this conjunction, when you look what the conjunction of 4 planets mean, even though exact is only the conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune, still they share the energy of Aquarius. This is conjunction of power, a lot of connections. And the whole Aquarius idea is about connectivity, connections between people, building societies together. The whole energy of Aquarius is this. So it's about connection. It is about exposure. More and more, you see these rulerships, which is dark. We see actually this. Maybe before we were under this, the illusion that they would care about us, but now more and more truth comes on the table when we see more and more, and we will see even more and more and more now with the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. More and more, you will see how this will open your eyes, enhance your intuition. You'll be seeing more and more every day for the next 12 years. This will open up, not just today and tomorrow. So 29 degrees of Aquarius, the previous one happened in the 1856, happened in the 27 degrees of Aquarius. We have there one brilliant star, Al-Bali star, which is very spiritual, very benevolent star of healing, intuition, absolutely beautiful, protective, glorious energy. The star has color which is very pure blue-white, typical for the stars which have spiritual energies. So this is where it is happening. This is why I'm telling you, this is about awakening, amazing enhancement of intuition. So much we'll be seeing. It will be very, very good, very benevolent. But what we have to be careful not to fall in are the fake spiritual movements. This is very possible that new philosophies come, and there is the trick. This is the illusionary part of Neptune. And now, what happened in 1856? Some utopian movements. I told you, utopian nature of Neptune, enhanced by Jupiter. Then you have end or start of the end, beginning of the ending of slavery. Look, they both bring peace, peace bringers. Then, if I can say so, then you had the Crimean War. This was very, very massive, very significant war, because Russia it was a war. Many countries were involved. You can research the Crimean War. The Crimean War started in 1853 and finished in 1856 around this event of the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. It was happening on the Crimean Peninsula, I'm reading, and the Russians were fighting with the British, French, and the Ottoman Turkish. And this was the end of 1856, exactly around this. There were other wars, small wars here and there in America. But when you click on 1856 historical events, you will see so many of them, and you will see the common idea was peace bringing. I am not absolutely certain that Neptune, Jupiter will come and they will bring end to these ongoing fights in Ukraine. I am not very sure about this yet, because, like I told you, Mars became visible for the first time in Scorpio, and he brought the idea of hostility, which will be for the next 15 months. So we still have to be patient, but some peace and softening the world situation, Neptune and Jupiter will bring. So this is very, very benevolent. People who have, once again, who are ruled by Jupiter will experience this very much. Who have Jupiter, who have Aquarius on ascendant or Leo ascendant, they will have influence, very benevolent influence in their relationships. People who have Neptune on their midheaven will experience immediately peace, and this is just very good influence. And in general, if you know that you're ruled by Jupiter, let's say Jupiter is the main planet, the most powerful planet in your horoscope, you will feel this immediately in a very lucky, very benevolent way. But remember, Aquarius ascendant, Aquarius descendant, Aquarius midheaven is very, or Leo ascendant, Leo descendant, Leo midheaven, also very good. And I'm talking about sidereal astrology, astronomical These are the astronomical placements of the planets. So enjoy. Remember, this is given to us to help this process of awakening, finding who we really are, and finding out finally how powerful we are. Very, very powerful. So hope that this was helpful for you. See you very soon.